A Unix or Linux process is a heavyweight process, or in short, it is called as HWP, and it can create the number of threads which are the lightweight processes. In short, it is called as LWP. Thread is a basic unit of a CPU utilization, which consists of a thread ID, a program counter, a register set, and a stack. A thread shares with other threads in the same process. It has a code section, data section, and other operating system resources. For example, the open files. A POSIX thread standard API for thread creation and synchronization is IEEE 1003.1c, is a POSIX thread standard that is exclusively for thread creation and synchronization. API is an application programming interface which specifies the behavior of a thread library, and implementation is up to the development of the library. The threads are common in the Unix or the Linux operating systems. Each thread has its own stack. So next, designing the pthreads programs. The POSIX threads or pthreads are best used with the programs that can be organized into discrete and independent tasks which can execute concurrently. For example, the routine 1 and routine 2 can be interchanged, interleaved, and or overlapped in a real time. The POSIX threads are the C language programming types defined in pthread.h header files. And how to create the threads we shall see in the pthread management. There is one main method and there is one create method. The main method comprises of a single default thread, and a pthread creates the new thread and makes it more executable. The maximum number of threads that may be created by the process is the implementation dependent. Once created, the threads are peers and may create the other threads. Pthread management, in we call it as the several ways to terminate a thread. In terminating the threads, the thread is complete and returns is one way to terminate a thread. The pthread underscore exit method is called, and the thread is terminated. Pthread underscore cancel method is invoked and the thread is terminated. The exit method is called and the thread is terminated. The pthread underscore exit routine is called after the thread has completed its work and it's no longer required to exist. If the main program finishes before the threads do, the other threads will continue to execute if a pthread underscore exit method exists. The pthread underscore exit method does not close the files, and any files open inside the thread will remain open, so cleanup must always be kept in mind. Coming to thread creation, uh, this is an API call to create a thread. Pthread underscore create, it has one thread ID, it has got one attribute, it has a function, and with an argument pointer to argument. The function is the function to be called. It is known as the thread function. When the function returns, the thread is terminated. The return value is 0 for OK, and the positive error number on error, and thread ID is returned in the TID. So discussing about thread ID. In default cases, you can specify null for thread ID. The thread attributes can be set using the attr, using the attributes, including the detached state and the scheduling policy. You can also specify null to get the system defaults. Each thread has its own ID. As a unique ID, a thread can find out its ID by calling the pthread underscore self. The thread IDs are the type of pthread underscore t, which is usually an unsigned int. When debugging, it's often useful to do something like printf thread pthread underscore self. The thread ID is printed in the print task. Coming to arguments, when the function is called, the value argument is specified in the call to pthread create is passed as a parameter. The function or func can have only one parameter and it can't be larger than the size of void star. The complex parameters can be passed by creating a structure and passing the address of the structure. The structure can't be a local variable of a function calling the pthread underscore create. Threads have the different stacks. So coming to the lifespan of the thread, once the thread is created, it starts executing the function func specified in the call to pthread underscore create. If func returns the thread is terminated, a thread can also be terminated by calling the pthread underscore exit. Joinable means once the thread terminates, the thread ID and the exit status are saved by the operating system. One thread can join another by calling the pthread underscore join, which waits or blocks until a specified thread exists. And this is the pthread join function. Int pthread underscore join. It has an argument with thread ID and the status. Thank you.